Welcome everyone to Thundering Einherjar, episode 10. My name is Sam Lander, I'll be your GM, and I have some players.
I am Jägermeister, playing as Denver Wright.
My name is Zur, playing Geralt Kenshin.
I am Eastbourne, playing as Morena Huffa.
And I am Hegemon Lure, playing as Caleb Archer.
Alright, so you guys watched, or you were on the bridge of the Torabaru, and you see the jump signature of a tramp class jump ship. Well, you know it's tramp class after you've located the actual jump signature. And, you know, watching it over the course of a few minutes, you see 3 drop ships leave its docking hullers, and the 3 drop ships that have been in orbit for, about a week now, start burning towards the zenith jump point to meet up with the jump ship. Yeah.
Is there any classification on the dropships that decolored?
If I can find them. They are non-military dropships. Spheroids. Oh shoot, I can't think of the name of them. It's they're the non-union but about the same size as a union class dropship.
Freighters, essentially.
Yeah, freighters. I can't bring it up on Sarna. Of course, I don't think of those things before I start. I remember to look up the jump ship, but I forgot the drop ships. Anyway, they are 3-4 days out from atmosphere, and the drop ships that are breaking orbit are 3-4 days from the freighter.
Possibly a buccaneer? Failed military transport, successful in civilian transports, exactly the same weight as a union?
Not exactly the same weight as union. That general size category. Give me your whatever you use for your sensors. Computers plus, we'll call it computers plus intelligence. Okay. So they are broadcasting as the independent, the jump ship is broadcasting as the independent freighter, nope, not gonna come up with a name. Wow, I have no idea why my brain refuses to come up with anything. Anyway, it's a Draconis Combine flagged civilian jump ship. So it's not part of the military structure. It is but like it's a trade ship.
I'll relay that the dropships are non-military, and the jump ship is also a non-military part of the Draconis Combine, at least according to the IFF.
So, question out of character, player question.
Yes.
Would Caleb know whether those dropships would be able to transport mechs or not?
You would probably know that. You'd be pretty easy to look it up. You could literally put him in as cargo. The thing that a military dropship gets you that dropships like this don't have are the ability to
Quick deploy.
deploy when not landed.
Ah,
So, like a Union has 4 drop tubes that a mech can literally be in a drop cocoon and be basically has machinery to like pick up the mech in drop cocoon, take it over to the hole in the side of the ship, and just drop it out. Mech deploys, or if you're closer to the ground than that, literally mechs that have jump jets could take a step out of a Union, and if the pilot's good enough, can as the Union is hovering over the ground, just mechs come out and land next to it. If you're deploying mechs from East picked out the ones correctly, Danaeus, like you have to ground and open up the cargo bays and extend the ramps and then walk the mechs out, and they don't have like quick release things.
and I'm assuming that bolting them down for flight would be a lot more difficult.
Well, I mean, you can, have 100 ton things to strap the mechs in so they don't shift around while in flight. But yeah, there's no quick disconnect.
I mean, there's nothing we can do about them anyway.
Caleb, your phone actually. No, Geralt, your phone. Diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo-doo-doo. Diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo-doo-doo.
Pull it out and look at the screen to see who's calling.
It is names.
Is it Vanya or
It's
Lars or
Vanya.
I'll answer. Yella.
Geralt, I think we're wrapping up here. Not much we can do about the dropships incoming, at least not right now. Can you get the Toraberu back to Radal, and we'll have a debrief there. Lars wants to talk with you, and strangely enough, the mercenaries.
Suspected as much. What do we do with the mechs? Just leave them standing?
Yeah, we have them secured, and we give us a few weeks. We'll have enough heavy transport planes to carry one of them at a time, at least. Leave them here for now. You guys can't take them back in the Union and your own mechs. So
I think I'll leave the extra forces we got as defense. Don't want them on the Torabara with the prisoners.
don't you need somebody to guard the prisoners? Because we don't want them taking over the Toraberu while it's in orbit or on passage transit.
In that case, I'll watch them myself, and I'll hang up.
You like you could there was a like as you cut off the phone.
I'm guessing they have some sort of low troop radio or squad radio on them.
Yes.
The not as kind people that we stopped last time, and I will just call them up and say, sit tight for defend the Megs. Relief is on the way.
Aye, sir.
And I'll go to Caleb in Denver and say, yo, Lars apparently wants a word with all of us. We're to report back to Rodal with the ship.
Guess that's fine by me. Why are the troops unloading? Who's guarding the prisoners?
I'll help guard. I don't want them guarding the prisoners. You saw what they did, or
Eh,
tried to do.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's set up a rotation. I want at least 3 people on guard at all times. So I guess since it's Mech Warriors that's here, it'll be Mech Warriors on guard. I don't remember which Mech Warriors we brought with us, so Caleb will signal to the second in command and set up a rotation.
Second in command is currently Tai,
Perfect.
who over the last week you've gathered knows some of these people from previous times.
Even
Some of
more
the
perfect.
Opponent Mech Warriors?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Even better. All right. I'll call out. I'll get on the comms, signal everybody to load up. We'll pack her up. And Denver, I guess you get another go.
Ready and able.
All right. So it takes you guys 3 or 4 hours to get the ship, all buttoned up, everything's strapped down, prepped and ready to go. By this time, the 3 drop ships that were in orbit are now well and away. Like, even at your maximum burn, they could outrun you and get to the jump ship before you guys could. You get ready for takeoff, and Denver, could I get a piloting roll from you, please? Piloting plus intelligence or dexterity?
Wouldn't make a difference.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
As
It
I
is
remember,
it's a neither thing.
he's pretty good at flying anyway, so
9? All right. No problem at all. You kick the ship up into orbit, or suborbit, and radio Radal and get a response back pretty quick. Yeah.
I rolled high enough to find the autopilot button.
You right. You are cleared for landing at Union Park. Please be careful of the buildings surrounding. There are people in them still, but the park should be open. All right, go ahead and give me a piloting to see how well you land as well.
I have to do both?
Yes, strangely enough. Take off and
Nice.
land.
If you don't try to
Oh.
land, I'm worried we'll end up like Gunnar.
All right, so that's nearly perfect. You pilot this. Go ahead.
We need to make Yvonne aware of that I am nearly perfect at this.
her ribs won't shake in her place.
You land in Union Park, and the only difference between your landing and the original landing that was here, however many weeks ago it is that you guys brought the Union here, is the pattern of burn marks on the ground. Is you're not rotated in the same position. But other than that, you slot into the park. Don't disturb any of the people out in the fields or any of the buildings. Sit down as gently as any of you has made landfall in a dropship.
That's good.
So, for about 5 hours after the phone call, 4.5-ish hours after, it only takes about a half an hour to get from Kyberg to Radal by dropship. So, about 5 hours after the phone call that Geralt received, the Union is opening up. It is a fresh, muggy day here in Radal. Probably 8 p.m.
Caleb is going to ask Tai to hop into, have her Lance keep the motors ready, keep things running. Don't actually deploy, but I want her able to deploy at a moment's notice.
She nods and says, what are we doing with the prisoner, sir?
For now, keep him in the conference room under guard.
She nods. I'm gonna. Okay, if I pick a different mech warrior and for my active lance and keep Stanislav on that duty.
I think that's an excellent idea.
All right, you go deal with our employer, and we'll be ready to roll out if necessary. The other company should be pretty ready as well. I'll conference with people here.
Sounds good.
All right.
We'll contact the general to find out where we're meeting.
All right. You come over to the general's frequency. A harried-looking sub-lieutenant answers. She's looking very harried, and what? You're a major? Yeah, you're a major. Okay. She goes, "Oh, Major Archer. Oh, yes, good. The general would like to see you. Good news. We've got the castle mostly cleared out, so he would like to meet with you in the castle conference room 3A." And she like hits a button. You should have a map on your data pad.
Can you guys check up above and below it? Rooms?
Right. Yes. Good idea. Okay. I'll let the general know.
Okay.
She remembers what happened.
Yes. Well, not enough.
Geralt also remembers, but has a reason for not saying something.
All right, we'll commandeer some transport and make our way there.
It's not hard to get military vehicle transport. With the month since you guys took over it all, month and couple weeks, the NBFA has started requisitioning, we'll call it, car factories, and has converted at least one of them into creating like Jeep light vehicles, ICE vehicles, open topped, but handy to get around town in.
Geralt will likely just commandeer one and drive the player party to the castle.
All right.
Caleb, while Geralt's off doing that, will comm to Tai and say, check in with us in about an hour, and if you can't get a hold of us, assume that we need an extraction.
Will do, Major. You can hear the shift as she checks some of the of her mech, as she checks some of the motion of it. That Battlemaster she wears it like a second skin.
Right.
And as time permits, a 7-seater Jeep thing comes rolling by. Meep, meep.
Beep, beep.
It's probably a 6 or 3-axled light vehicle. What, like 5-ton max? Probably less.
Yeah, fair. Well,
Yep.
I guess we're gonna head in.
All right, so the drive over to the castle is relatively short. The NBFA does have checkpoints set out, but you guys are able to get through checkpoints, no problem at all. Everybody recognizes the liberators of New Bergen, which includes you, Geralt, for some reason. You're not 100% sure why, but everybody recognizes you as well. you're waved through the. Actually, switch over to that. So, oh come on, there we go. So you guys are waved through the checkpoint on the southern end of the. Oh, I didn't actually move you. It helps if I. Oh no, I did. Ah, I remember how to do things. You guys are waved in through the southern checkpoint. The conference room is inside of this reinforced building on the left. You guys can see like this building over on the right was like the mech bay and also like troop transport mechanical building. There are several large craters in the side of that building, and most of the concrete surrounding this area has been like torn up and is in small pieces. You guys heard word of both mines and improvised explosive devices, and looks like to get at both of them, there's been a lot of work done. All right. Like the guards on this building are like salute you as you walk up. Evening. See your ID and business in the castle.
Geralt will start patting down, looking for his wallet, find it, provide his ID. Lieutenant Geralt Kenshin here to see General Lars Hermansen with the mercenaries.
He snaps a salute. All right. Good to see you, sir. He's in the conference room already, I believe. Just head up this hallway, and he gives you like a moderately complex set of instructions.
I don't think I have an ID.
Geralt will have a basic ID at least.
Yeah.
Geralt will also ask the soldier manning the posts, do you know if the governess is present?
No, it's just Lars, as far as I'm aware.
Noted. Thank you. And it just marches off.
Mm-hmm. All right. You guys follow the map or work your way through. This building is also under heavy reconstruction. Appears to be several rooms that are covered in soot and fire damage. Like this building, there are exposed reinforced columns in several places that look like they had explosives put on them that weren't enough to take them out, but somebody sure tried.
Geralt is walking with purpose, but almost sort of fidgeting on the way.
I'm guessing this is part of the battle that happened to clear out the castle. I hope.
You guys, like, you're let alone through the thing, but you see soldiers, people like look like clerks, stuff like that, spread out through the building. A lot of them give you a salute, Geralt, as you walk by.
Just a solemn half nod in their direction as a response.
All right, so there are two soldiers with carbines standing outside of the conference room door. This conference room is in a secure part of the building. Looks like the walls are about a foot thick. Not sure what they're made of, but whatever it is pretty heavy stuff. And the drop ceiling in here has been stripped. And just that bare concrete above you. And you are on the, like, this is a not ground is not the right term. It is like you had to go down a level, and there's every indication that below you is maybe a crawl space, but generally speaking, there's not a whole other floor below you. And as you guys enter the room, Lars stands up, straightens his suit, or his like military uniform. Could I get a notice roll from everybody, please? Notice plus wisdom. Geralt, you see there is within easy shouting distance, like there are at least 24 soldiers acting busy, as is the way that soldiers are really good at. But nobody else notices this as you guys walk in.
Question.
Go ahead.
Are there windows and are there curtains for the windows? If so, I want to close them.
No, this room is a secured room, so it's like foot thick concrete on every side.
You said 24?
Yeah. In addition,
I will just quickly type in a message: 24 guards ready for action in the messaging app, and just shoulder Caleb and show him the phone.
Okay.
Caleb will look at it, raise his eyebrows, sort of glance around, try to surreptitiously count, and start looking for a wall to put his back to.
Yeah, you can see him too. You're not in the military, so you don't. They look busy, but given the heads up by Geralt, you can be like, yeah, there's a lot of guys around here which haven't been in the rest of the building. And yeah, you guys enter the room. Door clicks shut behind you. Door is like 6 inches thick. Has a wood fascia on it, but as heavy as it is, and it's got like that compressed air movement on it. It is you can see this is a room that's meant to take, or this is a door that's meant to take a couple of RPGs to it before it collapses.
Sturdy.
Yes, very sturdy. And Lars Hermansen stands up, adjusts his coat, and says, yes. First of all, Geralt, congratulations. And he hands you over a slip of paper.
Just looks at the header and maybe the first paragraph.
The NBFA is pleased to inform you that you have been promoted to the rank of Oberst for brave and all the niceties, and he holds out a hand to shake yours.
Grabs the hand, shakes, but staring daggers back at Lars.
He goes, and for the rest of you, I have many words that I want to say, but the first one is, what the hell were you thinking?
Excuse me?
I wanted those drop ships. We got the mechs, but I wanted those drop ships, and now, he kind of waves, now they're gonna get away.
I don't remember much about dropships in the contract. In fact, I remember that we weren't given any incentive to take dropships. In fact, we were sort of given a disincentive to take dropships, so I don't see the problem here.
The problem is you disobeyed direct orders. And he
Orders that were in defiance of the honors of war, sir.
he gives you a look, Geralt, and says, as easily as you can be promoted, you can be demoted. Stand down, soldier. Let me talk to the mercenaries. He turns back at you, Caleb, and goes, in 3 days, we are going to, you and I, and whomever you see fit, will go over to the HBG building, and Comstar is the mediator. Comstar will mediate this disagreement and the penalty phase of this insubordination.
General, I don't know if you've worked with mercenaries before, but you give us objectives. You don't give us orders. That's not how this works. So I'm pleased as punch to go talk to Comstar. And by the way, I'm looking for the ride off this rock, because as far as I see it, our contract's done.
He like, his face flushes. Contract is done. You're contracted for a year here.
No, we're contracted to help you take the planet. If the contract runs a year, we're done. We're already done. The planet's yours.
He starts sputtering. Geralt, did you ever read over the contract?
I would like to say yes, because just the having to work with them, I would need to know what their contract actually said. So I would say, as the contract got sent back from Galatea, and Geralt got the inkling that he might be a liaison, he would just start reading and interpreting the contract.
All right. Anybody who wants to can give me a intelligence plus brain fart. Administer?
I don't see that on my list.
You don't see
Administer intelligence.
Yeah.
That's what he meant.
I'm gonna spend the reroll for that one.
Oh, nice.
Well.
Better, but not good enough.
All right.
You're
so
not an administer type.
Morena, Caleb, you guys are confident in Caleb's interpretation of the contract, and yeah, you guys are confident in Caleb's interpretation of the contract. And
Can I walk up to him with my my note with my pad out with the contract on it, and start noting to him, this section clearly says that the contract will be done when the planet is taken, up to a year. I will point out the relevant sections and let him read if he. It would probably be more smart to not embarrass yourself.
Like his face is he was starting to go red now, and yeah, you can see like rage building in him, and he says, "Guards, take him from the room. I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to deal with some underling." He's looking directly at you, Morena.
What do you mean underling?
A couple of soldiers come in. Their weapons aren't. They don't have their rifles in their hands, but they're definitely like giving you that look, like, "Yep, time to leave."
I guess we'll be I'll whisper to Caleb. I guess we'll be taking a trip to the HPG.
Yeah, we'll see if we get past the cells first. So I'll make to move to follow the guards.
And guards, maybe a little hospitality on the way out as the door clicks shut behind you. You guys are in a hallway. It's probably 15 feet wide. The two soldiers are looking at each other and then look at you and look at Geralt.
I will point out at this point that Caleb has the alert ability, which means that I cannot be surprised.
Awesome. Yeah. So yes, absolutely.
I'll point out I definitely have my weapons with me since last issue with the other guy getting killed.
That also tracks.
Geralt will just look at the guard and calmly ask, I request to speak with the governess.
Yes, sir. All right. Their expressions right now. Actually, give me a charisma plus connect. Anybody?
I'm definitely not social good enough as shown earlier, so I will not.
I'll give it a good old stab, but nope.
Caleb will point out that the general ordered you to show us hospitality. So,
you like a drowning man reaching for a rope. The one on your right, petite woman who has way too much gear on for her frame goes, yes, the general, I'm sure, met coffee and donuts on the way out. Follow me. And with a 9, the general absolutely did not mean anything such as coffee and donuts.
Yes.
I'm guessing Geralt actually knew what was meant, but
He's
kind of befuddled.
I mean, the way he was angry, probably we all know, right?
The implication was maybe fall down a few flights of stairs.
I could go for a good donut. Got any ones with the sprinkles on top and the cream filling? Because those are the best.
Yes, sir. And she starts leading the way. Meanwhile, the other guard gives Geralt another look and then makes a phone call and is urgently trying to get a hold of somebody.
Geralt will just follow the guard that was leading.
So okay. Making sure I'm remembering correctly. Maya is the reason you call her governess is because Maya is a feminine name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought she was a she, but my brain is like, no, the governor is a he, but the governor was Christian. All right. So you guys are led out to the main floor. There's a room set up and donuts and Geralt, very good smelling coffee. Caleb, it smells okay. Needs to age a few more years, but probably okay.
Oddly enough, Geralt won't get coffee. Just pacing, waiting for something to happen.
All right.
Someone to come through the door.
Can I make sure the donuts don't smell weird and grab a bite of it?
Absolutely.
I'll probably be hungry.
Sugary, sweet, pure, deep fried, cakey donut. Including stuffed ones, but none that are stuffed and sprinkled.
No weird tastes.
Tastes like donuts.
Good. Okay.
Caleb will look him
Take a
over.
bite of each one. And do it.
No.
Caleb will look him over and say, not quite the perfect combo, and snag a stuffed one, and then put his back to a wall where someone coming in a door wouldn't immediately see him.
Sure. So you see a private like a PFC come running in the door. Look, spot Geralt, run over with a sheet of paper, like salute, run out.
Grabs this piece of paper, just look oddly at him, and read it.
Piece of paper says gives an address and says basically it's in Maya's handwriting and says 9:30 and an address. You've lived here all your life. Address is like a hole in the wall restaurant.
Was the letter sealed?
Probably just a folded note with the sent by trusted person or something.
Yeah, it was folded sheet of paper.
But recognizing the handwriting, I will mosey on over to Caleb, show him, and exclaim that we need to go there at that time. It's very important.
Caleb will nod and back. Is there any reason we need to stay here any longer? Seems like our business is done.
Don't see why we couldn't. Caleb, Geralt will just turn around, look at Mirena, and just turn back and say, I believe we've earned the right for a good cup of coffee and a good dinner at a restaurant.
I could go for a good nosh. Although I think I'll grab a donut on our way out. Walk over and grab a second donut and then make to leave.
I'm grabbing like 4 or 5 donuts, keeping them in my house. They're good.
Geralt will, for the first time since the incident where he's trying to yell order into the disorderly soldiers at the drop zone with the DCMS, will just exclaim with as authoritative voice as he can, "Thundering Einherjar, mount up!"
The little gal who led you in here like salutes and says, I can get you to your car.
Lead the way.
She looks just a little awestruck as she leads you the rest of the way out of the building, and your poorly parked Jeep is where you left it.
I will get back in the steering wheel, behind the wheel, wait until everyone is in, and drive carefully out to the gate. And after we've passed the gate, peel off.
Once we clear the gate, I'll get out my compad and just send a silent all clear to Tai.
You get back a thumbs up emoticon, and then we'll remain in mech until you are back home.
I'm setting the direction towards the restaurant.
All right, so you guys have about a half an hour drive. You got about a half an hour before the meeting time. The city streets are starting to pick back up to what you might consider normal. But otherwise, go ahead.
There's one thing I probably would do on the way, driving just fast enough that will make the meeting with time to spare. And I'll turn to Caleb in between the focus needed to drive. So, Caleb, you wouldn't happen to have some extra room in that company of yours?
I think there's definitely some things we could discuss for sure.
Because I'm if the general remains in power, I won't be here. So I want off either way. If he stays in power, I want off. If you just drop me off at some other planet, that's fine. If we can get the governors to actually listen, there may be something here for me. But if Lars Shermanson stays in power, there's nothing here for me.
Really? I'm shocked.
Are
Yeah.
you?
I honestly, Geralt, getting us all off planet's going to be a bit of a trick. But yeah, you've got a place with us to get off planet. I hear you.
Right? And just chit chatting, small talking with whomever wants to chit chat and small talk while we pass the rest of the time for the meeting.
I'll go check up on the injured.
Well, there's just you in the vehicle, so I don't think there's anybody injured.
No. When we get back.
Oh, I figured you'd head straight to the restaurant since that's about how much time you had.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, they're not.
All right, so you guys pull in. This is in a very dead portion of town. It looks like there were a lot of, say, Curitan native people here who are keeping a very low profile. There's been a couple of places along the way where you see graffiti spray painted onto buildings that looks very disrespectful and racist. We'll go with, yeah. I'm along the orders of racial slur, get out, and that sort of thing.
As they were not happy with the ruling class, I presume.
Yeah, this does not look like a ruling class neighborhood, though. This is like family homes and similar. Definitely on the losing side of this entire everything. The place you guys pull up into, like, for those of you who are on Solaris, it reminds you of Sabata Boruto more than anything. It is a noodle shop, a ramen shop. I think Sabata was like a open front restaurant. Yep. This is enclosed building, but the smells coming from it are something you probably haven't had since you left Solaris.
Yeah.
So as we walk in, Caleb will kind of mutter to himself, I gotta tell Bob about this when we get back to the dropship.
And sitting at one of the tables is a older lady. You guys would recognize her from a picture. I don't know if you may have met her. I think you met her. But it is Maya, Lord Leonardson. Boy, that's a hard word. And she is sitting at a table that's large enough for all of you. Very obviously there's a person who looks like a bodyguard in the kitchen. There was a guy hanging out on the street outside, wearing sunglasses at night with a sidearm and
a suit.
Yeah, suit, and got the earpiece in, and it's the subtleness that isn't very subtle at all. And she stands up and, like, warmth in her voice says, Geralt, mercenaries, it's good to see you. And she, like, offers hands.
Give her a hand, and while saying, I'm sorry to disturb you at this hour.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. I was just out getting some noodles. Please, sit. And she yells back at the kitchen, like, number 4 for everybody.
Is there like an open menu where I can see what number 4 is?
Yep. So it is a, so ramen soup bowl with the, like, the thin sliced ham or beef, probably beef pieces, and the little fish cake and the egg and noodles and
Yeah, good. Nice. I have my fun with that.
and yeah, the person in the back starts, busily working away, and she says, yeah, please have a seat. Seems like we have things to discuss.
Girl's eyes, having been forced into a happy-ish look, takes a turn for the sadder and asks her, what's your stance on our being free and the DCMS?
I think we have more work to do. I think that the mechs that Caleb and his troops have liberated for us are a good step along the way, at least for keeping riots down and similar so forth. I don't think we could stand an invasion force, but I think we have a good first step.
Good. I asked to see you because I fear the general is either losing or has lost his mind and is not fit for command of the armies.
I mean, fair enough. He just got instated like a couple of weeks ago. But he does need some reeling in, I think. For his own good.
He gave us orders in conflict with the honors of war, ma'am.
She kind of like has that small micro emotion of like she knew, and she goes, I'm not sure how steady my position is if I were to defy him or try to demote him. So you all, and she motions towards Morena and Caleb in Denver, are very popular. You killed the assassin of the previous governor. You kicked off the DCMS forces in weeks after we have been fighting for a decade, more than a decade. If it were to come down to a conflict between you and Lars, I don't know who the people would be behind. But me, the people don't know me. We haven't had an election, and as much as I would like to say it, I don't think my rule is super legitimate until we do have one, and I can probably win an election, but that's a year out. I don't know if I can defy him. At least not without some very strong reinforcements behind me.
Are you talking the 30-meter high reinforcements?
I mean, if it comes down to that, I'd hate to have a civil war after having a civil war, but the NBFA follows Lars. They know him. He is a good... No. He is not a good person, and he took the death of his father very hard. He is known as a competent leader and a good person amongst the troops.
Well, ma'am, I hate to put it this way, but we're in a bit of a bind because our contract doesn't allow for us to get into a squabble amongst our employer. Now, we'd have to either negotiate something additional, or we'd have to have assurances about our place in this. Because, to be honest, I think we're done, and I wish you all the best, but I don't see much of a way forward for us.
It's becoming quite risky for us to stay as well, I think.
So, I don't know if Lars remembers this, but I've read over the contract that you guys have, and I agree. You have fulfilled your duty on this planet. I'm going to give you a little bit of information that Lars won't want you to know, and I'm going to warn you. So the information Lars won't want you to know is we don't have the money yet. We probably won't for a year. We have to collect taxes, and we have a planet to collect taxes from, but we don't have your however 30 million, 40 million. What was
50.
it? 50. We don't have 50 million C-bills right now. We have enough to keep our troops active. We're starting to collect. I mean, these dropships incoming, as much as Lars thinks it's a horrible idea, they represent trade. Trade represents flowing of cash into the government coffers, which represents getting you guys paid. But tomorrow, 2 days from now, no, we can't pay you.
Yeah.
Which Lars is never going to let you know. And I'll give you a warning too. He plans on, or he would like to, I don't know if he can, I don't know if the Comstar will let him get away with it, but he's going to fight for reinstating the original contract, not the negotiated contract.
Which we did not take.
She nods.
You know, that's interesting, because if we're not under contract, then other possibilities open up.
She nods again and says, yeah, that's what I'm scared about, because I don't want to get my planet shot up even more than it already is. And so maybe a little bit of a side deal. If you guys don't mind taking on another contract before you technically have been paid out from this one. And maybe a little trust, because I can't pay you tomorrow.
Trust is a funny thing.
Well,
Lars, I don't trust as far as a 2-day-old tortoise could kick him. You, however, I trust.
So, maybe with the correct actions on my part, Lars doesn't need to be in charge of the army anymore, and maybe a Overstlund could be escalated to his position. I would look at you, Geralt, but you are too new in your rank to be promoted once again.
And to be fair, I'm half tempted to reject said rank.
I would take it for now, at least. If nothing else, the pay is better.
But also the responsibilities.
Geralt just shrugs his shoulders at the mention of responsibilities.
So, tell me more about our motivation here. And say motivation, say incentives, whatever you want to call it.
Cash.
Cash is good, but it sounds like you don't have any.
I don't have any tomorrow, but like I said, if we can collect taxes for about a year, we'll have enough to pay you and build our army up and see if we had, say, a training cadre of experienced mech warriors who can liberate a planet in a week, perhaps to train some local soldiers into piloting those mechs that you captured. Maybe 12 months of garrison duty on a planet. Relatively light. Say another 25 million at the end of it.
For the dangers. Ooh.
Just have to have a small general problem that if it all goes pear-shaped, I might need some help with.
Well, I tell you what, we're not getting off planet tomorrow because there isn't that much lift capacity. So let me discuss it with my command staff, and we'll get back to you.
She nods. You have a few days until your meeting, I've been told. I'm going to be there as well. I don't know that I'll be in charge of the meeting, although I probably should be. But if it goes sideways there, maybe that's an opportunity for me. Don't force it though. Anyway, this is me thinking politics and out loud to some very lovely new friends of mine. Stay. Eat your noodles. I have some planning to do, and well, assuming I don't get assassinated as well, I think meet you in a few days and we can discuss it further.
Was a pleasure, ma'am.
She gets up, she offers hands to all of you, and offers a hug to Geralt.
Accepts the hug, and as they part, he actually snaps to a indoor uncovered salute.
She smiles at you and says, "You have some good friends here. I think Gunnar did a good job picking out a mercenary company. I know that they had at least one friend from on planet, and it seems like maybe there's a second, and maybe you can convince them that we're not all bad." And she gives you a kind of a half civilian, civilian half salute, and turns around and walks out of the building. Your bowls of noodles are steaming and lovely smelling on the table.
Caleb will signal to the barman or whoever he can get his attention and say, "Do you got a good light brew over there?"
He goes, "Well, of course," and he takes a couple of minutes, brings out a beer for each of you. It is.
Geralt will insist on non-alcoholic.
Well, he'll give you like tea, if that's the case. But I don't remember what it was called. But this is the same style of stuff that you guys used to pick up all the time.
Pilsner?
Well, it's not a pill. I think it's a wheat ale.
IPA?
It's not a pale ale. I can't remember the name of the town. There we go. Sorry. Oh, at Sabita.
Ah. The bar.
Yeah, the bar. Sorry, the name of the noodle place was Fudamono. The bar was Sabita. But anyway, this is the same. It's not the same brew because that was brewed locally, but this is the equivalent. It's a Curitan like wheat ale.
I'll gladly drink it. I'm assuming the guys in sunglasses also left off.
Yeah, they left with with Maya.
Caleb will take a deep pull and say, "Oh yeah, definitely coming back here."
Geralt will audibly chuckle and say, "Well, as long as the general doesn't stay in power, that could be arranged."
All right, let's put this on the map because we're going to come back here again, I'm sure. Drawing. Draw shape. No, that's wrong. It's not a good color. Call you green. Somebody name this place.
It's a mix between Norse and
Yeah, so
Cretan, right?
so it's mixed between Norse and Cretan.
Thor's katana.
Sorry, run that by me again.
Thor's katana.
I like it. Text.
Fair.
Text. There we go. And it is a noodle place. Alt. Haha. There we go. All right. So you guys are you eat your ramen. It's tasty stuff. Not super high class, but definitely that step ascended street food, I guess you'd call it.
Nice.
All right.
Similar like a pop-up restaurant in Japan, right, where they do noodles and stuff, like
Yeah.
the small ones.
Yep. Well, this one's permanent enough that it has like a storefront.
They usually have like a very small storefront and then like a really long hallway to the back, which is like the place where you can sit and stuff.
Yep. All right. So it's probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. You guys are definitely the only people in this place. But your food was tasty. Your beer was light and flavorful, and nobody's bothered you for payment.
I mean, I will definitely ask how much it costs.
The proprietor like waves off, says Governor Maya paid it.
Well, thank you very much. We'll certainly be back.
He bows.
I'll try and do my most courteous bow back, which will probably be bad.
He doesn't seem offended at all.
Okay.
Guys headed back to the Toroberu?
Yeah, unless Caleb says otherwise. When Geralt gets behind the wheel, he's nosing towards Union Park.
Nope, sounds good to me.
Okay. Drive back. You weren't inebriated at all, Geralt, so no problems at all driving. As you're approaching the Union, just as you start like seeing it peek up around buildings, you hear the heavy footfalls of a mech, and
I hope it's one of ours.
well, it's Jenner comes striding up.
I mean, if it's one of ours, we'd probably know how it looks like, right?
Yeah, it's got the Einherjar paint scheme on it and everything.
Okay.
And Ayumu comes over the mic and says, getting a late night out.
Yeah, we found ourselves I'll shout up. We found ourselves a good noodle place. I'll put it on the general channel.
She goes, man, noodles, that sounds wonderful. Marco would like to see you guys when you get in. I'll escort you in. And she falls in behind you.
Who was she referencing?
Mariko.
Tai.
Oh, okay. I heard Marco. Sorry.
No. Mariko. Noguchi Mariko.
Geralt will just take the not the scenic route, but take the Not as obscure route
Right.
with the general following behind.
Apparently, Yumu is on first name basis with Tai, which is interesting. Anyway, yeah. So Jenner's able to keep pace easily with your truck, unless you really try to lose him.
Nope.
But you guys pull up. Mechs arrayed around the base of the Union. Standard sci-fi war machine, sparks flying off of them and grinders running and, doing repairs on things that never saw the light of day, as you do. Looks bustling hive of activity. Get a notice plus charisma or intelligence.
Oh.
9. Oh, hey, so Denver and Caleb, as you guys are pulling up, like, both companies and all of their mech warriors are noticeably, like, doing stuff.
Actually doing stuff this time?
Well, doing stuff as in they're hop, skip, and jump from loading into mechs and driving off.
Is this the time to change the guard?
Absolutely not.
I'll tap Geralt on the shoulder and say, let's pull up close. I don't think we want to stick out here for long.
Geralt will not actually drive onto the Union, but drive the Jeep basically onto the ramp.
Yep. And you guys see Tai standing at the top of the ramp, kind of gives you guys a wave and then heads back in.
Guessing to the planning room.
We'll follow her in.
All right.
Geralt will just bark in order at some random privates. Park this truck for me.
All right. You guys head in. You see your prisoners of war arrayed out, not within visibility of the door, but in the weight room, like lifting weights and talking to each other, chatting and so on and so forth. Stanislav is like got his back against the door, just kind of watching over him, but no other guard presence around. He gives Caleb, he gives you a salute as you go, like a half salute as you go by.
I'll raise an eyebrow at him and then salute back.
Tai would like to see you.
So I gathered. I imagine she's got something of a story for me.
He just grins.
I'll smile back and walk off. Did we see where Tai went?
She headed up. Looks like she was headed to towards the conference room.
So we'll head up to the conference room.
All right.
Geralt will just play tail on the donkey and follow.
So
Unless he's being blocked.
nobody's blocked you so far.
Caleb conveniently fails to notice Geralt trailing behind.
So you guys get up to the conference room, which has been a temporary brig for the 15 mech warriors. So the place has a
16?
60.
We caught 15.
Oh yeah,
I
16.
thought we caught 15, and the one from before.
Yep. So this place has a pong of body sweat and there's not enough room in this room for people, like 16 people, to lay down at the same time. So there's obviously some like stuff set up so that some of them can sleep while other ones are awake. But Mariko is in the room and then, watches you guys walk in and then raises an eyebrow at Geralt as he comes in and says, looks directly at you, Caleb, makes eye contact. Do you trust him?
So far.
She nods. What are we doing with prisoners?
That's what I was going to ask you. It doesn't seem that we're guarding them.
They're guarding themselves. I had a long, heartfelt talk with their commanders. One of whom I know.
Oh.
Well, if you know them, do you have some suggestions for me? We don't exactly have prison facilities here on the Torabero, and I'm not fond of the idea of turning them over to the MBFA.
I would advise against turning them over to the NBFA as long as General Lars Hermansen is in command.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, same here.
I gotta find some names. So I already knew Soma, who you captured in the first encounter. I also know Shinsuke Shimizu, who had been taking over. I think that was the person who taken over. Anyway, I knew them from my previous command, and she kind of pulls at the jacket, which is a DCMS captain's uniform, but without any of the pins or buttons, without any of the accoutrement that would normally be with it.
Do Caleb and I know that she had the DCMS as where she worked for before the Valkyrie stuff?
Maybe. She has been very quiet about her past.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys had a super close relationship with her, other than as she was your commander before.
Yeah, I think so too. So probably didn't know.
Yeah. I think if we can get off this planet with them, some of them would want to join. We could use more mech warriors. We've lost one.
Do you think there'll be trouble in the meantime?
Not as long as we don't let the NBFA after them. If the NBFA get a hold of them, they will work to free themselves. And if we're standing in their way when they're working to free themselves, then they would go through us too. Keep them on the ship. Keep the NBFA off of them. I think they're okay. They trust me, or at least some of them do.
What about the ship's crew? Do you think that they'll back us in this? I mean, some of them are MBFA.
She looks at Geralt with an eyebrow raised.
I can wean out the ones, at least try to wean out the ones that would make trouble. The others would probably fall in line. What with my new rank and all? And he scratches his head.
Oh. New rank, congratulations. So Oberst?
Yeah.
Seems
Did
to
not
be
see that one coming.
Seems to be a large collection of promotions going on as the ranks swell, and I'm not sure that the NBFA is ready for so many people who are not built for being in charge.
As I see it, there's for the time being, there's but one person That is in a rank he does not deserve.
Problems with the general? I take it the meeting went well.
Well, we didn't have to shoot our way out, so I guess I'd call that a win.
I mean, when given the option of shooting your way out of a place or not shooting your way out of the place, generally better if you don't have to shoot your way out.
Speaking of getting out of places, Denver, what do you think about spending some extra time working on all those airlocks and ramps that just don't seem to always open on command on the Torobaru? Think you and a tech or two might be able to address that issue?
Absolutely.
I think we have a plan then. Good to see you back, Major, because I was a little worried when you guys went off.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be going to too many meetings in the castle. Comms work just fine for me.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
I
General?
second that.
We might also want to talk about the talks about the contracts, because I don't think Tai knows about them yet.
She raises her eyebrows. So what's going on?
Well, Marina, if you're going to keep speaking up, why don't you tell her?
Hey. Well, Lars was kind of insisting of us not being finished with the contract yet. Since it says we're here for a year, but also until the planet is freed, which it is. He did seem to get quite angry when I explained it to him.
I have a feeling he's interpreting it as a year as the minimum, and if you take longer than that, then you're still on the hook until the planet is freed. If I had to guess.
He's probably interpreting it like that, but the contract doesn't say that, right? I can't be wrong here. I'm fairly certain.
Well, I would suggest reading it over and double checking, just to be sure. But yeah. So, what kind of guard rotation do I need?
I think one active lance at a time is probably sufficient. They don't really have anything more that would that would matter. So I don't think we need to be on super high alert, but I want at least one lance hot and one lance on standby.
She nods. All right. Yeah, I can work out with the Solaris folks what that really means. Not everybody's a member of the military, but yeah, I can work out with the Solaris folks what that really means. I'll get you guys in the row to 2 just to make sure. Should I include Geralt in that, since he seems to be joining this merry band of peeps?
Yeah, I don't think you'd mind, would you, Geralt? And it might give us some cover if things go sideways. So I'd appreciate having a little bit of mixed units.
I take a short bow, not a Japanese style greeting bow, but a thanking bow, like presenting bow. I'm here to liaise.
She laughs. All right, I'll keep Stanislav. He's probably going to be off the rotation since he and I have such a good rapport with the prisoners. We'll keep them under guard. And yeah, let me know what you need, and we'll keep 8 mechs ready to go.
Well, I tell you what I need right now is my rack. So I'm going to call it a night. We have more to talk about in the morning, but I think this is good for now.
She nods. All right. Have a good night, Major. Morena, Denver, Geralt. See you guys when our rotations work out. And she heads out of the room.
Just slight nod. And if you'll excuse me, I need to do some electronic diagnostics on the knight, and he'll head off for the Black Knight to do some general diagnostics and a comm sweep.
Okay.
Just out of new habit.
Sure.
I'll probably take a look over at the med bay, see if anyone needs help before I get off to bed.
Dr. Sue, greets you at the med bay. Oh, Marina, it's good to have you back. Everything's pretty calm right now.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll let you know if we need anything. It's good. Thank you for coming in here. You're a big help. Not a whole lot of other trained medical folks in the company.
Yeah, indeed. And thank you anyway for taking care of everyone all the time. I know I can't be here 24/7, but
She smiles. And if you ever decide that you don't want to pilot Awesome around anymore, just let me know. There's a spot for you here.
I mean, I'll keep it in mind. But I mean, it's too awesome.
She big grin, and goes back to her like books and stuff.
Yep, I'll head back to bed then.
All right. So you guys have like 3 or 4 days. You let the crew know where Thor's katana is. And it's not very long until there is a very well worn truck traffic, or not truck traffic, like people are headed between Union Park and Thor's Katana for every meal of the day. And you guys are all there at least once between now and 4 days from now when the meeting is going to happen. The tension level in this part of town is significantly less. There was a definite sense of on edge when you guys were here first, and that sense of on edge is relaxed a little bit.
That's good.
And food is free for the saviors of New Bergen.
I do make sure to leave a tip every time I go there.
Sure.
Caleb does not.
It's the beer tab all over again.
Yep. I'm assuming mark down 100 sea bills over the entire time we're going there and stuff.
That's reasonable. All right. Anything in the interim few days that you guys would like to do?
Make sure that people don't get injured.
I mean, the usual, list of sprains and strains and people who push themselves a little too hard. I'm sure Yvonne twists her rib at least once.
Damn it, Yvonne. Why?
She's a frequent flyer.
Geralt will at least once a day do a complete band sweep for comms and listen for encrypted transmissions.
Ooh, give me a computers plus intelligence, please. Program plus intelligence, yeah. And 11. So the drop ships that were around planet, they had a 4-day flight to leave. And the drop ships that were landing had a 4-day flight to get to the castle. So the drop ships land or not? Yeah, well they land at the castle. They land in the spaceport near the castle. And you get Since you have the NBFA frequencies, you get their transmissions and their, merchant vessels, and they have these things to offload and are looking to buy like coffee and wagyu and, luxury items that are grown or made here on New Bergen. There's a lot of cursing that goes on when they hear about the new taxes, but like they're not gonna pay them.
Do we know anything about the taxes?
They aren't high enough.
They're not 100%. We're not getting paid yet. But the merchant vessels land and offload and sell their stuff and are looking to buy stuff. There is in fact an encrypted message that transmits from the I should have written down the name.
Koneko Katana?
Yes, Koneko Katana or Katana Koneko. To the planet, but it's a short burst encrypted message. You capture it, but you don't know where it was. Like, the receiver for it could have been anywhere on this hemisphere.
Which is fine, as long as I captured the message.
But yeah, you got the message. Other than that, pretty calm.
Caleb will do some connection making. He shouldn't be too recognizable, so he's going to go and not renew, but generate some contacts in what black markets there are, what less than favorable cops, etc., etc.
Sure.
And also, when the drop ships are scheduled to land, he's going to put a lance together and with him in it and go just be around the spaceport.
Okay. Give me a connect plus charisma. With a 10. That is good enough. Just write down that you have police contact. You have some sort of underworld contact, and you have a contact with the dropship peeps. All at a 0, but you have those contacts if you need them.
Roger that.
The underworld contact has a Japanese name I'm not going to come up with yet. The police contact has a Norwegian name, and the dropship captain has a whatever you want name.
French.
Sure. I mean, the Davion are the traders of the Inner Sphere. They are.
Just remember what I put in chat.
Okay. Charisma plus talk, please, Geralt.
Reroll.
Oh, come on.
Better.
You don't find anybody who you think is going to be trouble with a little bit of talking with others.
The general ideological direction is at least somewhat in the same direction as Geralt himself has, and not necessarily in the direction of Lars.
Right.
And I don't guess I'm hearing anything from the people who need to be treated in Med Bay when I'm there.
Go ahead and give me a talk plus charisma.
I would report as such to Caleb.
Yeah, no. You're about the same as Geralt. You don't nobody's giving you any trouble, despite the fact that your prisoners of war are no longer in the brig. There's always somebody from the Thundering Einherjar who's watching the prisoners of war, though. So it's not always Stanislav, but there's always somebody watching them.
Yep.
So with my dropship contact, I'll start sending feelers out for what it would take to get dropship capacity to New Bergen to actually lift the Thundering Einherjar off. Not necessarily asking this crew to do it, but
Right.
saying, hey, can you send somebody our way? Put us in contact with them.
Like, they don't, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll put out feelers for you. We aren't military lifts, so best we could do would be get you guys somewhere outside of, or at least in the direction of not New Avalon, the yellow on the map, the left.
Steiner?
Yeah, Steiner. Because nowhere in Draconis Combine you guys are going to land, but we could get you a few jumps maybe, but wouldn't be a very pleasant fight. And we really would prefer to pick up bulk goods. So, but we can put feelers out for you.
That's all I'm asking for. There's possibilities of kickbacks if you guys manage to find something. So, just keep your ear to the ground. Let me know.
They're in Commonwealth. That's what I couldn't think of. And yep. You got some feelers out. All right. Denver, you got anything for the few days?
I've got a deer in the headlights look as a player.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So talk about the
ramps.
Ramps not functioning properly. I believe that was Caleb asking you to sabotage some of the ramps, so they're not as cooperative, at least from the outside.
Or at least can ignore the commands from somebody who'd tell them to lock down.
Maybe rig a switch somewhere so that they work when, only sometimes.
Yeah,
You guys nag and nag and nag. I'll get to that when I get to that.
Give me a fix plus charisma +1, because you're having some techs help you out. You've got at least one airlock, probably not any of the main bay doors, but at least one airlock that you've rigged so that it ignores the commands from the central computer and can be opened, like, manually is the wrong way to put it, but without having, like, it doesn't obey lock commands. You can override it.
We've interceded.
Yes. So, yep, you have at least one airlock that if you guys get locked in the ship, you can get off of the ship with. All right. So, your meeting is, say, 2 p.m. 4 days from when you guys landed. You guys would have landed April 13, so April 17th, we'll call it. What day of the week is that? April 17th is a Friday. So Friday, April 17th, you guys have a meeting with the NBFA and the current governor of New Bergen, along with the Comstar contract mediation team on planet, and whomever you decide to include in your command structure. Who y'all bringing? I'm assuming the players.
Yep, I think the players.
Geralt, you're asked to be part of the NBFA party.
Oh,
I think Stanislav and Tai would also be there, as well as Devon.
Sure. So, Geralt, you get to the Comstar HPG, I'll call it an hour before the meeting. Vanya and Lars are there in the building waiting, and probably 5-10 minutes after you get there, Maya shows up. Vanya looks very heavily put upon. Lars looks distant, and Maya looks thoughtful.
Geralt looks focused.
All right, and it's
I'll probably be looking at my data pad.
right. It's obvious that Lars has a double thick stack of printouts on his or with him, or rather, he probably has a attaché. All right, so play the Caleb, Morena, Denver, Devon, Tai and Stanislav. You guys all arrive probably a half an hour before the meeting, and the front of this building has been repaired. Like, it's been a month, and this place doesn't look like any damage happened to it. It is, you like, as you're walking up to the building, you can feel they have an air curtain going to keep like insects and dirt from the outside from getting inside of the hyperpulse generator. There's a heavy NBFA guard 1 block in every direction around this place. And a Comstar acolyte like greets you at the door and says, yes, contract negotiations. Right this way, if you would.
We'll follow him in. As a player, I have a question. Was it Yvonne that actually crashed into the front of the building, or was it someone else? I can't remember.
So
It was Yvonne.
It was yeah, she kind of did. She landed on the building too. It was a tank.
Oh.
A tank got landed on and pushed into the building.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the interior of this building, like, is pristine. Like tile floor. Somebody spared no expense to get this work done rapidly. It looks like you might be able to see a little bit of evidence where old work meets new, but other than that, it looks perfect. If you guys would follow me, please. We have a conference room set up right over here, and can I get a sense of the tenor this meeting may have? Do we need to have bulletproof glass in preparation?
I hope not, but I suggest yes.
The Comstar acolyte kind of smiles, says, "All right, in the wings, as it were, then."
Works for me.
And you guys are led into a like large conference room. The NBFA group is already in the room. There's like this really long conference table with probably 10 chairs on each side and then 2 chairs on each end. And the Comstar Acolyte says, I believe the parties know each other. We have a lawyer, but that's not the right word. Here for any of the finer points in the discussions. Tensions can be high in these meetings, so just as a reminder, if any Comstar in personnel is injured, your 1 year of interdiction against interstellar communications, and you will be considered to have conceded the negotiations. Other than that, I wish both parties the best of luck. If you would, and he points to the Einherjar, if you would please take your seats on this side of the room, and the New Bergen government representatives, if you could please take your seats over here. Arbiter, that's the right word. Not lawyer, arbiter. And he goes to sit at one end of the table. You guys have seen a dozen, maybe 24 acolytes wandering around.
Right. So how do we get this party started?
Well, we start with the terms of the contract, the arbiter goes, and we start going through them one by one. And Lars pipes up, says, I don't believe the contract is valid. The negotiator worked outside of his authority on Galatea.
That's your problem, not ours.
And the arbiter nods and says, if you had issues with the workings of the contract, you should have renegotiated the said contract before any hostilities had taken place on the planet. It is Comstar's position that a mercenary contract, once hostilities have been engaged, is considered valid by both parties. Grumble, grumble, rumble, rumble.
Meanwhile, on the NBFA side, Geralt is looking slightly downwards with the smirk on his face.
Do we have to send evidence in, like the signed contract between both parties? Is there a record of it already?
So yep. So there's a TV built into the table. The contract as signed pops up. You start going through it. Could I get charisma plus talk from everybody in the Einherjar side?
Can Caleb have talked to Marina and said, keep your trap shut? Just kidding.
So
Fair.
Marina, at some point in the discussions, Tai kind of sits on you. I don't mean literally sits on you, but like hand on a shoulder and like calm, get that like, you know, take some deep breaths, calm from her. All right, I need to roll a couple of d6s. Ooh. Okay. So it's a win and a lose. You guys spend probably 3 hours like going over this contract in extensive and exclusive detail. A question for you all. Are you just trying to negotiate the contract, or are you trying to rile Lars up?
If I don't get shut up by someone, I'll probably try and rile him up a little bit. Not too extreme, but
Okay.
Caleb is definitely, that's not one of his intentions. He's still looking for a way to get off the planet.
Okay. A big sticking point right now is the agreement to transport you off planet, as there's no lift capacity here. Morena, give me a Connect plus Charisma. Either roll really high or really low.
Really low, probably.
Okay, that's about as low as it gets.
One
Natural
lower.
crit.
All right, so you have been negging Lars. Like, unless...
As an underling talking, like, especially, like, because I'm an underling, right?
Right. So you have thrown in a couple of, like, jabs. The Comstar people are losing... Like, they're definitely, every time you do it, you get a disapproving glance from them. And they're watching and seeing what you're doing. But Lars is getting progressively more adamant that, like, the sticking point, the ultimate sticking point is the wording of the contract that says on planet for a year or until it's been freed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the wording is in such a way that either interpretation is possible depending on which way you're looking. Like, the contract as written is not ironclad in either direction. But okay, I'm gonna roll. Does he actually... How do I interpret that? It's too middle of the road. About 4 hours in, the Comstar folks call a break. And ask that you guys are, like, led into side rooms. We'll start off. I want to keep everybody in here just so people hear it, but we'll start off with the Einherjar. And so you guys are led off into a side room, and Stanislav is like, I think this is going well. We're not paid yet, but I think it's going well.
Yeah, the only thing I wonder is if Lars is going to have an aneurysm the next time Marina opens her mouth.
Small smirk from Morena. She has a little bit of a trouble with him because he called her just an underling.
Perhaps if we can make him explode, we can get him to injure one of the Comstar, and then we won't have to have long protracted legal battle. Court dates suck.
Facts.
He shakes his head and says, "Well, I think if we can get some of them around on our side. You guys said that the governor is at least not against you."
I believe so. It's problem is that if the governor's on our side, we're her muscle. So it's more that more a question of, are we on the governor's side?
He nods. That is always the trick. All right.
At least she seems to be more sensible than Lars. From our previous conversations, of course.
I might have ability to get him out of the room. If, well, no, this is official. This is official Comstar. They don't take kindly to that. So never mind.
Oh, I'm interested.
He gives you a smirk, and like Tai is like rolling her eyes. All right, to the NBFA side. There has been a solid 5-minute tirade so far as you have been in the room witnessing it, Geralt. Lars has not, like, you're not even sure he's stopped to take a breath. Invective, yelling, shouting. He's
Probably a good few handfuls of words on the, in quotation marks, underling that won't shut up.
absolutely, and his attaché, or the attaché that's in the room with you, she's that same trooper who like was guiding you out of the room, and he's like got a data sheet or the printout in his hand, and goes, I don't understand why Gunnar couldn't have just followed his orders, and he throws the pile of papers at the attaché.
Geralt will just calmly, collectedly, as monotonous as he can muster. If that were the case, I believe New Bergen would still be in war, trying to free itself.
My dad sent specifically those contracts. You understand this, right, Geralt? Specifically, those contracts were designed to get us both an army to free New Bergen and a army as standing army. The intention was never to pay the mercenaries. It's to take their mechs, and now we can't even do that.
Geralt just looks at him with blank stare, not uttering another word, for the time being at least.
Maya kind of moves over to you, Geralt, and asides to you as Lars like stomps over to the water pitcher that's on the side of the room and pours himself a glass and is muttering to himself, and she goes, we need to calm him down or get him out. Do you have any ideas?
Get him out would probably be easy. Just let Mirena talk to him again.
I'm afraid that he's going to shoot Morena if this keeps up. Then we'll be in trouble.
Do they know there's bulletproof glass, right?
The bulletproof glass isn't currently in the room.
Fair.
Although calming him down, I doubt anybody but his father could do that on a good day, and this is not a good day.
She looks at you, and she looks at the attaché and says, do you think you could take him down?
I will look him over and just try to get a feel for his physique. Is he the couch general, or is he the run 15 times around the entire castle complex before breakfast general?
He's somewhere in between them. He is a 55-year-old man with all the aches and pains associated with that, but he isn't a couch potato. He it's obvious that he runs regularly. He's not he's not a bodybuilder, but he keeps fit.
I will remark back to her, I'm not sure. If you think it's necessary, I'll give it a proper try.
She nods and goes and says out loud, like loudly, says, I think I've heard enough. Lars, General Lars Hermanson, you are relieved of duty. Please report to the castle complex to close confinement until this matter is dealt with. And there is a crash of glass against the back wall. The conference room would have visibility from, like, all three rooms could see across because the curtains aren't pulled. So you guys don't hear it, but probably Morena, you see the general who's up against, like, the far wall in the other room across from you. Not the room that's, so it is meeting. It's a room attached to conference room attached to, like, rest area room. And you see Lars, like, stiffen and then throw something against the far wall.
Do I think he sees me?
No, he's facing away from you.
Gotcha.
As he throws the pitcher, have they disarmed us?
Nope.
Goody! I go into ready position with the SMG.
The attaché, what's her reaction?
Is the attaché, or is she NBFA?
She's NBFA.
Gotcha.
Not as I'm not pointing the weapon. It's just in the shoulder, pointing at the ground, ready for things to go down.
So she doesn't pull her gun, but she does say in a quiet voice, we're done here, General. Let me take you to the castle. Could I get a how are you commanding him to stand down, Geralt? Is this command, leadership, just talking to him?
I would assume there would be a follow-up from Geralt after the attaché has calmly said, let me take you. He will reaffirm, you have been relieved in an orderly, as an order. Probably lead.
Okay, give me lead plus charisma.
I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
Better if you roll low and then you can just shoot him.
No idea if it's high enough.
It matches. So he is going to spin on a heel, drawing his pistol. Geralt, I need you to roll me your initiative roll, please. It's D8, right? Oh, okay. Well, roll me your initiative. Seven. You won initiative. You have a choice. Do you shoot the general, or do you, like, flying tackle him, or he is drawing a gun and spinning around?
He's close to the wall, isn't he?
He is close to the far wall, yes.
Might be the wrong thing to do, but I am going to shoulder check him into the wall.
All right, give me your punch roll, please. Punch plus strength or dex.
Three.
3? I don't see it.
I see it.
I only see the initiative.
Yeah.
Yep.
Try again?
Roll 20 giving us issues.
I hope not. Reload, Gerald? There it comes.
There. 3. Yep.
All right. So he was gonna aim at he's gonna aim at Maya, but you started running at him, so he shifts his aim to you. It's going to be soldier. So Morena, you see this happening. Pistol. No modifier. You see
With
this
my-
happening. 17 hit you, Geralt.
It will.
5 damage. And now we should probably get into real initiative, since it's probably going to be happening. Devon doesn't.
The
get
other
me.
side to us,
I'll just use
I'm guessing.
this as a. Nope. All right. Please add your turn to the initiative tracker.
It's.
Select
have
your
a
token
token?
first. You
Just
gotta put your token on the map.
put a token in the corner somewhere.
Yeah, I probably should have cleared
All
this,
right.
but oh well.
That doesn't seem to be working. You just drag it from your picture in the bottom, right?
From your
drag
journal, drag the image, your character, the text on the map.
Yeah, the text.
Okay, that's not obvious. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm still lost.
Go to your journal, where you can open your journal for your character, and then on the characters menu, drag your character on the map, the text of your character. It gives you
There
a
you go.
draggable box. Yeah.
I highlighted plenty of things while attempting that.
Yep.
Browsers.
All right.
So I need to redo initiative then, because it's
Click on your token first, so you have it selected, and then roll initiative again. You can change it when it's added to the turn order. You can click on the number and change it to another number.
Yeah. Okay,
the
so
one you had
Morena
before.
had a 4, so this is the wrong one. Caleb has a 5, so this is the wrong one.
Sam can also change it if need.
Geralt, you have a 2? No.
7.
7. So this is the wrong one. Denver, you had a 6. Go ahead and update that, and then sort descending Denver. No, this one's the wrong one. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 player characters. Everybody's going before. All right. So, top of the initiative order, Geralt, you just got shot by Lars. It's your turn.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, is there such a thing as holding your action?
Yeah, you can move yourself down the initiative list if you wish.
Well, he has shown little interest of following the command of the governor or an order from an officer, so he will just yell in his best, not best, commanding officer tone. You have been relieved, and go.
Okay. You are shooting at him, okay. 12 will miss. So submachine gun bursts, fire. This is a very small room for this amount of noise. But missing him as he like moves to bring his gun up on you again. Because you didn't go down after the first shot. Denver, you're up.
I will take a shot.
Well, you're going to have to go through 2 sets of doors first.
Oh.
Feel free, though.
Okay, I don't have a visual reference to that, as we're
Okay,
not on a map.
So you guys are in a probably 15 foot by 15 foot room with a window and a door leading into the main conference room. There's also a door leading into the hallway. The main conference room is a probably 20 foot deep by 40 foot long. Hey, that's yeah, like that. So you guys are in this room. There's a door here, a door here. I don't. The sizing is a little wrong, but and then
hold Alt in position between squares.
Yeah. And then the general is against the back wall over there. Marina's at the room. You guys heard. Like, even though the soundproofing is really good, you guys heard bang and then bang, bang, bang as a pistol and then a submachine gun went off.
And I probably noticed by now that Marina's data pad is glued to the wall, or to the window.
So do I have enough movement points to enter the room and also shoot?
Yeah, you can basically get into the door. So you can't you can't get all the way into the room, but you can open your door, open the far door, and fire.
How many hostiles are there?
Well, you don't know about the attaché, but Lars is definitely hostile because he's got a gun up, and Geralt also has his gun up pointed at Lars.
Okay, so yes, enter the room and take a shot.
Okay.
Are you shooting at Lars or Geralt?
Important.
Depends on how I roll.
Oh no, don't say that.
Just go for your shot. 16 will hit. 11 damage. You put... so this is a... Oh, this is... You got a... Okay, you got a combat shotgun.
I mean... Am I carrying my combat shotgun?
Yeah,
I guess is a bigger question.
Up to you. Like the Comstar people didn't seem to care about weapons, and the NBFA didn't ask you to not bring weapons. So if you say you have your combat shotgun for this meeting, it's probably been in this room rather than being in the main conference room. But yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say you blast him in the leg. He is in extreme pain, but not down. Caleb.
Is he still holding on to his gun?
Yes.
Caleb looks at Denver dashing through the door. His head pops up when the first shots ring out. He sees Denver dash through the doors. He's like, "What the hell?" And so he'll take a running dash after Denver. When Denver pulls up to take a shot, he'll flying tackle after Denver just to try and get him to the deck.
Okay, give me a punch plus either strength or dexterity. You're trying to tackle Denver, or you're trying to tackle Lars?
Denver, because it's not our fight.
Okay.
Or Geralt.
Or Geralt.
Or the attaché.
Are you trying to resist this, Denver?
No.
Okay, so you are tackled. You guys catch up beneath like the table. There's a divider in the table, so you're not visible by Lars. All right, Morena, you're up.
I'll make sure to keep my camera on where I can still see Lars as much as possible and walk slowly over there.
All right.
So I probably get like halfway.
Yeah, you're good. It's the NBFA's turn. Let's do a morale check for the attaché, because this went sideways. She fails morale check and joins Caleb and Denver behind the table. Like she just dives down there and is now in not a cuddle puddle, but yeah, basically in a cuddle puddle with you guys. There's a whole pile of people there. The governor will almost calmly exit the room and then close the door behind her. So that Geralt, you and Lars are now alone in this room together. The governor, or not the governor, the Lars will take a shot at you, Geralt, again. 18 hit.
Yep.
2 damage. So probably a grazing scrape somewhere.
That's just barely deeper than the clothing damage.
Yeah. And that brings us back to you, Geralt.
I would like to go over to him and try to arrest him with zip ties or cuffs or whatever I have on me.
Punch plus dexterity or strength to basically try to restrain him, get the gun out of his hand, that sort of thing. A 9, he will try to resist. A 9, you guys get tied up, so neither of you has a gun on the other one. But he is bleeding rapidly all over the floor in here. He's not gonna be conscious for too much longer unless somebody stops the bleeding. That said, Denver, you're up. You would now have a Caleb and an attaché atop of you.
I obviously don't have a clear shot.
Not unless you want to try like shoot through the door.
Oh, that's true too.
You're pretty sure the door is reinforced though.
Also, shaking up some people on top of you.
That too.
I guess I stand on this turn, and that I don't. I and make my way towards the door.
Okay.
And if I have time, open the door for Caleb.
The governor's gonna be like, no, don't open the door. Let Geralt take care of this.
Okay.
So
then I yield to the governess's instructions.
Right. Caleb?
I'll roll off Denver, whip out my pistol, ready it up, peek over the window just so I can see how things are going.
So it was one of those things where Geralt's left hand is got the wrist. Wait, are you left-handed or right-handed, Geralt?
Lefty.
Oh, so you have reached across because you would have your gun in your left hand, which is on the same time. So your right hand has reached across his body. Yeah, to try to take control of the guy's right hand. His arm is like punching you in the side. And you guys are struggling over your guns, or he's struggling to get his gun back on you.
All the while, Geralt is, you have been relieved. Stand down.
All right. So that's all you're doing, Caleb?
Yeah, I see the pool of blood growing on the floor and the leg, and I'm thinking, now this fight's almost over. I'm not going to bother.
Okay, Marina.
As I walk to the window as well with Caleb, I'll probably see the puddle of blood, and I'll shove my data pad to Caleb. Here, you keep recording, and I'll try and get my med kit out. I'm wondering if she lets me through. He might need some help in a little bit.
She's not going to let you through until he stops struggling, at the very least. I mean, you could go out into the hallway, around, and into the door on the other side.
Then I'll try that, definitely.
Okay, that you can absolutely do that. You gonna struggle with him, trying to get him down so you can do medical to him?
Yes, I will definitely just... can I just try and get his gun out of his hand first?
Give me a punch plus dexterity or strength, whichever's better.
Oh, dex.
You kick the gun out of his hand. He's struggling, definitely less strong.
And I'll put my medkit down, of course.
Right.
Get ready to help him.
He needs to make a morale check at this point. He makes it. Does
that make him see reason?
It wasn't an intelligence check.
No, it wasn't. It was a morale check. He's bleeding rapidly because he's got a shotgun to the leg. I think he doesn't have enough fight left in him to overwhelm you at this point, Geralt. So and we can leave initiative now. You get him onto his belly, get his hands behind his back. Morena, you're able to get the leg stopped bleeding pretty. Give me your medicine roll.
Medicine int?
Yeah.
Heal int.
Heal int. Yeah, the leg wound wasn't as bad as you thought it was. He remains conscious as you bind it up enough to stop it bleeding. And one of the acolytes comes in the room and says, yes, bulletproof glass time then. All right, half an hour we will resume the conference. If you could take care of the problem, madam, and to the governor. We will resume this conference with fewer guns and more bulletproof glass. And he heads out of the room.
Offhandedly comment over my shoulder. The need for the glass is over.
Perhaps, but it's just safer this way in case tensions rise again. Would you like us to restrain him for now?
Do I remember the attaché's rank? Was it a private or was it a corporal?
She's a corporal.
I will just offhandedly yell, "Corporal, I need you to escort Mr. Lars to the castle."
She peeks like from where her confidence pile is no longer, and then it's like gets up, straightens her uniform out, and says, "Yes, sir. If I could have somebody, well, okay, yeah." And she like leads him out of the room.
And as the ex-general leaves the room, Geralt will finally get his head back on his shoulders, safe this submachine gun, and holster it.
All right. You guys have a much more calm and agreeable conference as the night continues. You negotiate the fact that yes, you have freed the planet, and with much tutting from Comstar, governor admits that the NBFA does not have the funds on hand right now to pay your deal, which causes there to be a penalty with Comstar, not you guys, for not having prompt payment. Comstar looks at you, Caleb, and goes, for a small fee, we can forward you the payment for the contract, and then retrieve payment from the New Bergen government, or if you say want to let them have time to come up with it, then that is between you and them. Comstar will not act as the intermediary in that case, since technically the New Bergen government is the one in default. It is up to you, Caleb, which option you take.
How small is the fee?
Just a minor 10% fee.
I'd rather have the money now.
All right. So the Comstar adept nods and says, all right, so that is, and we'll work out the money later, but basically, payment in full minus 10% off the top, and then forwards you the C-bill total, and says, all right, then the New Bergen government is also, per this, on the hook for transport. I guess it's up to you guys to determine what that looks like, but they will be paying for it. And if you have any problems with that, then you can come to us again, of course. And Maya kind of looks at you guys and says, still interested in garrison duty?
Well, considering that we can't get off this rock, I think we can negotiate something. Maybe not for the full year, but yeah, I think we can come to an agreement. If you send us a new contract to look over, we'll go over it and we'll see what we can come to an agreement on.
She nods and says, I believe something akin to a standard contract. We already discussed the payment terms. Perhaps not a year, but well, we'll see. We'll send you over and see what you see fit. Nevertheless, it has been good having you here. I have a general problem to take care of. If you guys don't mind remaining on planet for at least that problem being taken care of, we'll get you a fair compensation for acting as guards until then. Either way, thank you. You have been a blessing to New Bergen. I'm to understand that your pilot, who is from here, did not survive, and he will be added to our Hall of Heroes when we add that as a savior of New Bergen, much as yourselves. But either way, the Einherjar is always welcome here on New Bergen, and thank you for your service to our planet. And she offers a hand.
Kayla will stand up, shake her hand, and say it's been a pleasure doing business, ma'am.
She nods, and at that point we will go ahead and end it for the day. We'll have to figure out what's going to happen next time, because I have a whole new problem. So, thank you all the players for playing. Thank you everybody for watching. It has been wonderful and great having you here. We'll be back again in 2 weeks for more Thundering Einherjar. I hope to see you all then. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.